Hello, everybody. This is going to be your roadmap for all of the major veins that you need to know for Anatomy 1. Um, we have a certain list in the book here on the right side on page 52 in your lab manual for all the veins that you are responsible to know. These are all the main veins that we want you to know. And there's going to be a lot of veins in the body, but we really just want you to focus on the most important ones and the ones that really stand out. Also, with these veins, you also need to know where they're draining blood from. Like, for instance, the internal jugular vein is draining blood from the brain. So you need to keep that in mind. As you're doing this, you're also going to need to be able to trace a drop of blood through any vessel, whether it's a vein or an artery, and to know as it's going through the vessels, the vessel branches, which vessel it's going into. Also, you need to be mindful of the direction of blood flow. Now, when you're talking about veins, it's not talking about whether or not the blood inside is oxygenated or deoxygenated. It's just talking about the direction of blood flow towards the heart. If a vessel is bringing blood to the heart, therefore it's a vein. It has nothing to do if it's oxygenated or deoxygenated. So I like to do this roadmap out on another piece of paper, since online you just can't find a roadmap that has all the vessels nice and neat that we want you to know. The best one that we could find is this diagram that we have in your lab manual. However, it's stuck right next to all the arteries, and also it doesn't even cover all of the ones we want you to know, and it skips a few. So it's better just to use this initially, and then for everyone, you're going to need to make your own drawing. It's just something that's necessary that you need to do for our class. So now I'm going to be kind of going against the direction of blood flow with veins. It just makes it easier when labeling and following these lines. I'm sorry, I'm holding this camera with my other hand. But here we go. So going superiorly from the heart, we have the superior vena cava. You can see I've been practicing a little bit. Okay, and then coming into it posteriorly, into the superior vena cava, is the azygos vein. Okay, right there. Then they're going to have a branching point, and every time there's a branching point, the name's going to change. Or if a vessel is going through a landmark like the diaphragm, or down here we have the inguinal ligament, the name will change, and that's just always how it's going to work. But let's just do the left side. So this first branching point, we're going to have the left brachiocephalic vein right there. And then you have another branching point where you have a vertebral vein coming out here. Here's a left side. There's the right side. You're going to have the left internal jugular vein. You're also going to have the left external jugular vein. There's going to be, of course, you're going to see on A&P revealed, the software that we're going to have you guys use. It's going to say the subclavian vein is not going to go all the way to this branching point. It's actually going to stop about right here. But for our purposes, we're going to say it extends all the way through. We don't expect you to memorize all the hundreds of vessels in the body. It's just too much to take on, and you won't remember it moving forward. We just want you to focus on the major ones. So we're going to say that as you're going up the left brachiocephalic vein here at this branching point, all of this line is going to be your left subclavian vein, okay? And then at this branching point, you're going to have a branching point. We don't want you to know this one, but the one that's going out superiorly is called the cephalic vein. And then luckily for veins, it actually is mirrored on the other side. So everything on this side will be mirrored. You have the right internal jugular. You have the right external jugular. Here we have, I'm just skipping around here, but it just mirrors the other side. Right brachiocephalic, right there. We already said that's the vertebral vein. So this would be the right, all of this right here, subclavian vein. And then you have the, okay, this side was the left. I always say left or right. I'm just not writing vein every time because I'm talking about veins, but say vein if you're doing this on a lab exam. So this would be the right cephalic vein on that side. Okay, so that's all the veins that you need to know for your roadmap on the superior part, superior to the diaphragm. So if we're saying, okay, I have a drop of blood in the brain, trace that drop of blood back to the heart. Okay, it's going to go into the internal jugular vein, and then the left, let's say left internal jugular vein. You could have chosen either side. Let's just go with left, and then it's going to go into the left brachiocephalic vein, and then it's going to go to the superior vena cava, and then into the right atrium of the heart. So that's how it's going to kind of work. All right, now let's go inferiorly from the heart. We have the inferior vena cava. And then going into the inferior vena cava are these two vessels right here. These are called hepatic veins. And that might be a little bit confusing to you guys if you're first hearing that about these hepatic veins. But the thing is, the hepatic portal system is kind of like, it's a venous system that we kind of take out of this roadmap. I mean, make it its own roadmap, and it actually connects to this systemic circuit, this main circuit right here, right at this point into the inferior vena cava. So I recommend watching my hepatic portal system roadmap to understand and why these I'm writing the hepatic veins right here going into the inferior vena cava. Okay, so the inferior vena cava keeps going down. Then we're gonna have, let's just stick with using the left side first. You have the left renal vein coming off the renal vein. And this is where the sides are going to start to not mirror each other. It's the left gonadal vein. So that makes this side the right gonadal vein. Now you would never say gonadal vein on a lab exam, right? There's going to be male or female cadavers, so that you'll be looking on an A&P revealed. So you're either going to say left ovarian vein or left testicular vein, okay? But I'm just saying gonadal right now. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so that means this is the right renal vein. And coming down, we still have the inferior vena cava. Then you're going to have the left common iliac vein, and then the external iliac, internal iliac vein. Then that's going to go through the inguinal ligament and be cut, or sorry, it's passing by the inguinal ligament through the femoral canal as we're following the external iliac vein on the left side. Let's remember to write left. Now it's going to be the left femoral vein. Okay, just because it went through the femoral canal passing by the inguinal ligament. Then the vein that's popping out, that's branching out medially, that's going to be your saphenous vein, okay? Left. All right, let's finish the right side. So, right common iliac. And if someone wants to be my videographer, I'd really appreciate it. It's really hard to draw with one hand, but we're getting it done. Gotta do what we gotta do with this coronavirus. But yeah, right common iliac, and then internal iliac, right side, and then right external iliac, going through the femoral canal. So you have the right femoral vein, and then the right saphenous vein. Oop, there's no E here. I put an E right here. I'd get a half a point off for that. Okay. All right, guys. So that's your final roadmap for our class. You can like pause the video right here. This is all you need to know. Be able to trace a drop of blood. Remember the direction of blood flow. I'm going to have 2 more videos out, one on arteries and one on the hepatic portal system. And that should do you good for road maps. All right, see you in the next video.